Hello everybody, welcome back to my creative space, or should I say my creative mess this afternoon. Welcome back. It's been a very long time. It seems like 100 years since I last recorded anything for you and said hello to you from a sunny Cumbrian day here to you wherever you are. I'm just sending love out to you. I hope you've had a really good couple of weeks. There's been all sorts happening, and I know there's a lot of sort of stuff going on that's perhaps not very happy, shall we say, around the world. So I just hope you'll join me here in my little happy place where I have a little bit of time out from everything, whatever it is, whatever's going on in your world and your life. I hope that you can find a little bit of peace and a little bit of tranquility when you come and join me here in my beautiful happy space. I'm just so blessed to be here, and it's so lovely to welcome you again. Thank you for your patience. I've had a fortnight off of just kind of sorting my stuff out, sorting my head out, sorting out my stuff for the exhibition that we've been putting up, and we've had a wonderful time putting it up. By the time you see this, it will all be up in place. We're spending a couple of days doing that, hopefully not more than a couple of days. We're just about there. We've done one day so far by the time I'm recording this, and we've got another day tomorrow in the gallery, and it's so exciting because it's a really proper posh gallery to us anyway. We're used to working either in smaller spaces, or we are following on. I will tell you, our exhibition as Fabricate, our textile group, we're following on from Lowry. They've had some Lowry work being seen there, a great big exhibition there recently, and all sorts of wonderful things they have there. So anyway, that's what we've been doing, that's what I've been doing, but I've also been doing, it's time for a big old tidy up time. I have got stuff everywhere because all I've been doing the last few months is just working on the pieces for the exhibition. And every time I've finished something, I've just gone, right, I'll put you over there and I'll deal with you later. So now it's like it's all coming home to roost. All my chickens are coming home to roost, and I really need to tidy up before I start something fresh. I mean, it's just the energy's different, and it's time. I feel as though it's time for spring cleaning, clearing out, tidying, sorting. I've done a little bit of stuff in the house. I moved a sofa literally from one position to another position, opened all the windows, dusted the room, and it just felt so much better. I just love it when you can do something really simple. It doesn't cost you any money, but it just makes a difference in your house and in your life. And then everything else. I mean, the rest of the house is still a complete tip, and I've got so many things that need doing and fixing and sorting, but you know what? Life is just right here, right now, in this moment, and right here, right now, I'm here with you, and that's all that matters. As I say, I've just got complete chaos going on in here. I'm trying to sort out all my little bits. If you're new to my channel, what I do with all my little bits is I sort them into colours, and then they go into lovely bags. I've had these bags, some of these bags I've had for years. From time to time I get them out and I use them, and they'll go into my embellishing, because there's lots of lovely scraps here. Maybe one day I will create a whole piece just using all my bags of scraps, but I don't know about you, I can't bear to throw them away. I do put stuff out for recycling. A lot of my textiles go for recycling. I hope that's where they go anyway. That's what I put them out for. And the beautiful thing about our exhibition that we've got on, it's all about recycling and upcycling and making do and mending, and using things again, things that you thought have got no further use, taking them to bits, cutting them up and transforming them into some new things, including some artwork, which is just fantastic. So as I say, thank you for being here. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if I invite you to do that. It all helps grow this channel so that more people can see what I'm doing here, and just come and have about 15 minutes of peace and quiet in your day with a cup of tea and a bit of a chat from me. So without further ado, I'm going to get on and show you the film that I've taken for you. I thought about you all, and I thought, what can I show them? How can I start back in? I've got no idea what else I'm going to be doing, so let's just take it and see what happens, shall we? So this is what I've currently got on my desk. Lots and lots of delicious looking scraps that I'm going to be fiddling around with. So it's things like these lovely little bits, which are the edge trimmings of where I've cut the fabric, and I just look at these and I think there must be a use for these. I don't know what it is. I haven't discovered it yet, but maybe one of you might leave me a comment below and say what you would do with bits like this. They make lovely little sort of textured bits on a piece of work, or they'd make things for tying other things on with, or making, I don't know, bracelets or something, you know, adding some stitching onto them and tying them on your wrist. I don't know, I just hate to throw things away, don't you? I just think, oh, there must be something I can use them for. And I've got things like this, which is the button band that I've cut off. I've got two of those. I've got this one down here, which is a really pretty one with these little brass buttons on, these goldy buttons. So I'm going to cut those off. But then you think, well, could you use them as a button band, you know? Could you, I don't know, use them as they are, turn them into some sort of trim on something? There's 1,001 uses for everything, don't you think? If you just poke around and you think about it a little bit and come up with some ideas. So I'm just busy, as I say, sorting out these. What I've got down here is a pile of samples. Some of you might recognize this. This is a sample I did for my tree. This is something I've just been messing around with, a demo piece. I've got bits and pieces from my work from last year when I did a big flower picture. I've got something I've been cutting holes out of. Some of these are from my autumn collection. As you might remember, if you were watching, we did some seed heads. And this, in fact, I think is probably from either last year or the year before when I was messing around. I often do little samples like this because I find they're really helpful. And the nice thing is that they're helpful when you actually do them and you're making a piece, but they're also quite useful to go through afterwards and keep and just go, oh yes, I'm feeling, you know, this is what I feel like doing today. How did I do that? Or what did I put in there? Sometimes I put them into books and write little bits about them so that you can see and remember what exactly you did. But mostly, oh look, you see, if you turn the back of that one over, turn it onto the back, you can see this lovely fun stitching on the back. And some of you might even remember me doing these pictures that I'm showing you bits and bobs from. See, this is a little sample I did, and it's on some, oh, it's like something you make hats out of, like hat straw. And I embellished some poppies onto it. This was just a little sample again, and I made a piece with lots of these on, and so that's really waiting to be used for something else. I made a little bag. This is a little bag that I made to try out making a teeny tiny bag, and the actual bag is in our exhibition. So you might get to see that at some point. If I get myself organised, there will be a film of the exhibition coming out at some point. But you see, you could put that on there, and then you just hang it on the wall, and it's a pretty little thing. It's just a thing. No purpose whatsoever except the sheer enjoyment of it. And I think that's what we lose in a lot of things today. It's just the sheer pleasure of just something that doesn't particularly have a huge purpose. It's something that you've just enjoyed doing, the process of making it. So again, this is another little sample that's got, oh, it's obviously, I've just taken almost like a collection of things from a piece I've been making, and it's just got all of these gorgeous things embellished onto a piece of, this is a piece of my curtain interlining, I think. I thought maybe it was a piece of old blanket, but look at that, that's just waiting to be perhaps embroidered into. You could add buttons to it and beads and just hang it on your wall, or you could turn it into, I don't know, cut it long wise and turn it into something to put around your wrist. So many possibilities. It's being able to see, don't you think? It's being able to see the possibilities in things. We'll just open our minds, open our eyes, and things can be used again, repurposed, and it's all about just having fun and pleasure in the moment. So even sorting through this lot, you could think this was a really awful job to have to do, but actually it gives me great pleasure because I just sort of sit here and I work through all of this stuff, and then I'll go out for a walk and get some fresh air, because it does get a bit overwhelming after a while, because sorting out bit after bit after bit can get a bit overwhelming. But isn't this just lovely? I just love all these bits. So I'm going to go through them. Some of them will go in the recycling basket because some of them are a little bit too small. But you know, a piece like that can be used. That can go into my little blue bag. See, I've got my little blue bag just here. That can go in there. So I'll carry on with a bit more of this, and then we'll see what happens next. A friend of mine at the exhibition has made a wonderful dress come skirt using old ties, and she split the ties open and she's used the fabric and made a a very interesting skirt come dress, as I say, out of it. And what I thought was, I'm going to use some of these edges, the edges I was showing you before, and I've just cut them all up. They're lovely because they've got sort of stitching on them, so they're kind of rough and ready, but they've got the stitching on. And what I thought I would do is make a very simple necklace to go with this dress, and I'm going to use some of my funny old cotton reels. A lot of these are like, they're bits and pieces that I've left over from dressmaking. Some of these are from years and years and years ago, and they're these, some of them are just, they're what I would call nasty plastic ones, but they're quite light and quite small. And I haven't really got enough wooden ones to do it with, so I'm going to use these. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, something really, really simple but fun to do with these bits. So what I've done is, I'll show you this. So here's my cotton reel, right, and what I've done is I've taken off the paper, which tells you, what kind of, let's just see one that I haven't taken off. So you usually get them like this, don't you? And they tell you what kind of make of thread it is. So I've just taken them off because actually I really quite like, to get the rest of the paper off, I really quite like these. They're quite sort of got their own little designer, should we call them designer? And what I'm going to do is, where have I got my bits? Here we go. And I'm just going to take this. This is not exactly how it's going to be, but I'm just going to experiment and show you. What I'm going to do is simply wrap it around. Now this is really rough and ready. There's nothing posh about it. In fact, that's probably not going to be enough. Let's see if there's something I can put underneath. Let's just, this is on the hoof. This is me getting creative at the end of the day, going, whoa, you know what? I just fancy doing something a bit wild. I've been tidying up all day. Let's do something a bit wild. So I'm going to put this around here as a sort of a base colour. And this is extremely rough and ready. And the idea is it's a bit of fun. Okay, this is not meant to be taken seriously, but obviously it's going to make something amazing. So I'm going to just wrap this round. This is just to show you what I'm going to do. Okay, and I think just for demo purposes, I will find myself a pin, and I'm just going to pin that. This is just rough and ready, as I say. I'm going to have to stitch them in, but look, you see, that's like a big bead to me. It's funny, isn't it, how things evolve, It's funny, when I set out to film for you today, and I didn't really know what I was going to be doing, and how it's all kind of just evolved out of nothing. And I love that. It's like I always say, things that you just start doing, it's amazing what can come when you just start doing something. So I thought I was filming one thing, and I'm just not sure now. It's kind of weird. So I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm going to show you today, but we'll see. I've got thoughts of Chairman Mao, as they say. So I wasn't really sure exactly what I was going to be filming today, and it turns out to be something so very random, doesn't it? And I just love it, because I'm just sitting here peacefully in my little creative space, and I'm thinking about all the lovely things I've done this week, especially with my creative group, and what a joy it was that we were able to meet together to do this. The battery's about to run out, so we'll just do what we can. I don't want any of this to be too tidy. I mean, this couldn't be simpler, could it? Look at this. And it's rough and ready, and I like that. The further down the track I get in creating things, the more rough and ready I seem to want it to be. I think it's about liberation from all of those rules that we grew up with about what art was and how creating needed to be neat and tidy and stuff like that. And I just think, you know what? I'm just reclaiming messy stuff. Messy stuff. There we go. There we go, that's number 3. There we go, number 3 lined up, and I'm loving these colours. These colours are just fab. So the next one is my little pinky one. So I'm even being able to use up old bits of thread that I've had kicking about for years. So we need to find a nice pinky one. I think that one's a bit too deep, probably. I'll find a better colour for this one. Have a look through my little stash. Here we go, I found this funny old one. This is all my odd bits that I've kind of kept and wound onto other, you know, when you've got little bits left over from a project, and I've just wound it onto other spools. And now I'm actually using them for this little project, which I think is wonderful, because our whole exhibition idea is about upcycling and looking at things again and reusing things, like repurposing things. And I think this is just really cute. I'm really enjoying this. This is the most creative thing I've done in a while, because there's nothing riding on it. I'm just absolutely having fun doing this. So let's just see where we're going to go with this. But you see, I'm just tucking these threads in. I'm not too worried. Even if they start sticking out, I'm not too bothered, to be honest. That might be a little bit too much. Let's put it that way around. I'm really happy that I'm getting these bits in that you would not normally see, and I think that's really rather special, because a lot of this is usually hidden, isn't it, inside a garment, and yet that is somebody's hard work. Somebody has stitched all of that. Somebody working in a factory somewhere has made all of that stitching happen, and I think it's rather nice. I'm kind of celebrating that. I rather like that as an idea. We've got a bit of a lumpy bit there, so I think we'll just snip that bit off. There you go. We'll just sort of pin that in place. There we go. And what could be nicer? It's a beautiful afternoon. I've had a lovely day sorting out, clearing and tidying, and just sitting here quietly. I'm listening to the birds outside. For a while I've had my windows open in here this afternoon. It's actually been quite not warm, but warm enough. And it's been lovely to go around the house as well, opening windows. It's so necessary, I can't even say it, necessary after the winter, isn't it, to get your windows open and get the fresh air in, get the energy chivied up in each room. So I did that this morning in the house, and then in my studio this afternoon, this is what I've been doing. So there we go, a fun little project, quite bonkers, but I really enjoyed doing that. And I think, well, the other thing you could be doing, this is what happens once you start creating, is you could actually stitch lots of little matching buttons on, so you get this really sort of shiny, glamorous kind of look to it. You could have matching buttons. I mean, you could do different coloured buttons. There's no limit to what you could do with this. It's just been so much fun to do, and that's just going to tie around the back of the dummy, and I'm hoping it's just going to add a certain shade, certain glamour to the dress that's already on there. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this funny little video. It's been a real mixture of things. I didn't quite know where it was going or what I was going to show you, but I'm just grateful that you're here sharing this space with me. And I will see you again next week. I'll say bye for now, and I'll see you again next week. And, you know, how can we top this? In terms of creativity and a bit of fun, nothing could be better than this. And I trust you're all going to go away now and make your own beautiful necklaces out of some rubbish that you've got lying around at home.